How's it going, guys? So we're mowing third cutting hay today. Got started a couple hours ago. Just about done with the fields across the road at the farm we rent. Is it going third? Yeah, thank you. Just moved into this field. We had planted a little bit of another hay type crop. Just a little section right here in this field. And it's amazing how tall this stuff got. It's 6-7 feet tall. It's kind of interesting to mow through it. The excavators are back today, doing a little bit of grading. This field's done. So I'm about halfway done. We got these 3 strips, and then there's a couple fields at the bottom end of the home farm. We had some old concrete piled there. He's hauling that over to use as fill. Guess I'll mow along this lane headed back through. A lot of soybeans back here this year. Used to seeing corn. I got the John Deere 7220 on the mower for the first time today. Thought it might be a little better. The air conditioner works a little bit better in this tractor than the 7130. Pretty hot out again. Go back and check how the excavating's going a little bit. It's got that evened out pretty good. We want to be able to get over this bank with our lawnmower. Didn't want it too steep. Put some chunks of rock there under that drain so it doesn't erode that all when it rains. So we're gonna let the heifers in this pen out to a meadow there, and then dry cows are gonna come across that lane and out through. So we wanted to make sure there was enough build up this corner to be able to have 2 lanes of cattle. I better go keep mowing hay. It's the next morning now, so I'm gonna go unhook this mower, and then we're gonna go pick the rake up. So what we normally do with alfalfa is we'll mow it one day, then let it dry all day the next day until the next evening, and rake it up and chop it. They're saying there's a chance of rain this evening, so we kind of like to get it chopped before then. So we're gonna try and rake it late morning here before it gets too dried out and the leaves get crunchy. We'll get it raked up, chop it this afternoon. Should be pretty good. We like to get the stuff pretty dry to go into those blue silos. The harvest stores, we like around 50% moisture. We parked the mower in the old bank barn. Got this barn hill up into the top of that building. So I gotta fuel the tractor up and switch the PTO shaft from the 1000 to the 540. We usually go get the rake with our pickup, but we're gonna be using that rotary rake again, and that thing has a 3-point hitch on it. You can't hook it up to a pickup truck, so I'll have to drive over with the tractor to get it. With these John Deeres, they have the 540 and 1000 on the same shaft. You just have to flip it. Depending on which way you have it, it'll push a button in there, and then the tractor knows which shaft is in and how fast to spin it. So we got a little bit of a drive to get this rake. About 10 minutes in a vehicle. We got it hooked up. He was telling me a little bit how to run it. So the reason it's a 2-point hitch is because when you steer, it actually turns the back wheels. They have it linked there. So if you just have it pivoting on a normal hitch pin, they can't have that set up. So when you're pulling it, actually, the back wheels on that rake there will steer a little bit. So we started mowing this stuff full day ago now, so it had a good part of the day yesterday to dry. It's 10 a.m. Definitely still some green stuff on the bottom of these windrows, so I don't know, maybe I'll go scrape a little bit of manure and then we'll start raking right after that. So usually we'll start raking in the evening after the dew starts to set on it and the leaves aren't as crunchy. Oh, with this rain coming this evening, we just have to make it work here. I'm gonna scrape the dry cow barn. We do it 3 times a week. So we've always scraped it out that way. And there's a pit that we used to use over there. But now we have our new scrape alley set up. This is actually the first time we're gonna be scraping it the other way. So we just made the scrape alley and walkway for the cattle. There's a scraping pit over there. Scrape it right into this hole. We also need to put bedding in this barn today. This dry cow barn's got 51 stalls in it. Usually keep about 30 head in this barn, so it's nice it's not overcrowded. They have plenty of stalls. We'll scrape with the hydro. Got the box scraper on the back. Pull the tractor into the shed so there's not so much heat in the cab. That rake is tall, it almost caught the ceiling. So far since we poured this concrete, it's just been chilling out here thinking, you know, this isn't so bad. It doesn't realize its main purpose is to be a scrape alley for manure. Half the manure I scraped out is just disappearing into the grooves in the concrete. Gonna put bedding on those beds and then we'll switch the cows to the front. gonna go out and start raking now. For second cutting alfalfa, we used our old wheel rake, and they also brought this rake over. It's a rotary rake, so we can kind of compare them. I collected a sample from each of the rakes last time, and this one tested 2% lower in ash content. We're not necessarily sold on this rake, just our custom guys had this one sitting there and the other one's not around right now. So we're gonna use this one all day today. So first you gotta raise the wings up. So you raise it up the whole way and it unlocks it. And you can just fold it down. One thing I know I like about this rake is it's a lot faster at folding and unfolding. Because between fields, when the corn's tall, I have to fold the rake up every time. So that'll save me a good bit of time. This is a waterway. I'm gonna rake this up. So as those forks go around, they kind of rotate on the arms. So like they'll drop down about right there in the back, come around scraping the ground, and then they'll pick up again. So I just got started into the first field now. It does a really good job cleaning up the ground. Doesn't leave any skippers, like if you're trying to split a row. I wish it was a little bit wider because I can't quite get 2.5 rows. I can only get like 2 1/3. So I'm raking that section of real tall stuff I mowed yesterday. It's definitely a bit heavier. I had to slow down with the rake. Yeah, it's working pretty good. It's really nice going between fields, how quick it folds up. So this is another hay crop we were trying. I don't even know what to call it. Sort of like sorghum, I guess, but so I'm a little over 1/3 of the way done. Need to grab some lunch. I think my dad and Fonzie were setting up that new barn. Go see if they got that done. So here's our stacking area at work. They got some fresh bedding in. Okay, I'm on the last pass on the last field. Took me a little bit longer with this rake, just gotta go a little bit slower with it. It's about 3:30 in the afternoon. I need to feed cows, but it sounds like they just started chopping right now, so it'll be a few hours till they're done. We're putting third cutting right on top of second cutting alfalfa, which is in the second harvest store there, the bigger one. We had really good yield for second cutting, so the silo's a little over half full. All right, guys, I've been working at the cow feeding. I need to climb the silo to check it. It's getting closer. It's definitely not gonna all those 3 fields, 2 down there, and right now they're chopping right there. I didn't get the cow feed run out yet. I was worried this silo would overflow. I just climbed back up. I'm gonna stay here till it's full. They moved down to the bottom of the farm now. So the forage harvester is running a preservative into the feed as it's going through, just to help it ferment properly. Now that we're at the top of this silo, we're gonna add another product just to help keep it from molding, hopefully. Okay, I'm gonna call it full now. If we really wanted to, we could stick a bit more in there, but there's no reason. My dad already opened that one up, so we're just gonna switch the blower over there. Dad's sweeping up the mess down there. I should go help him, but if I help him, then I gotta climb back up again to close it. He's got pretty good form with a shovel. That's why I like to let him do that. The beauty of these harvester silos is close up the lid, seal it up, and we don't have to feed it right away because there's no oxygen getting in or anything. The concrete stave silos, they're not sealed, so we have to keep feeding off the top starting at day 1, or else we'll get spoiled feed at the top. So right now we're feeding first cutting haylage out of that, second cutting, and then half a third cutting fit in this silo, and now we're putting the rest of third in there. load to put in. I'm gonna throw some of this preserver in with it. $15 load. First two cuttings were 22 loads, so not quite as much, which is what I expected. Still a lot of space in the silo. Hopefully we can fit fourth cutting in both of these if we combine them. Probably could put a little bit more on the top of that one once it settles. Just gonna close this up real quick. I like this chute better because it's fully enclosed. There's hardly any mess up here, just a tiny bit of dust. They're heading out. I'm having trouble getting this lid on. Just kind of a buildup of stuff in here. I told Dad to get me a flat-headed screwdriver. Try and scrape that out. Hopefully I can get it down tight enough that I can get these handles turned onto it. Okay guys, that wraps up their cutting alfalfa. Thank you for watching, hopefully you enjoyed.